put the fire back in. Oh, the fan's just started. Should cool. Still got a little bit of work to do on the hearth surround. I've got this little nickel bar that we need to finish off, but we've just put it in place so that we could see what it would look like and feel that things are going in the right direction with it. And also we uncovered our floor because we forgot what our floor looked like, and this is it.
We need to cut the fireboard, and I'm informed that you can do it using a handsaw. Never done this before, so let's see how it goes.
Oh, you found your zen there, Martin.
I have. The thing about fireboard is it is actually quite brittle, so it sort of breaks easy. But the sawing's okay. I'm going to continue, but do it slowly and not sort of push too much on the saw. So see how it goes.
It's so soft, but it actually makes it feel a bit more nerve-wracking. We're building the frame around the fireboard so that we get a nice tight fit, and we are gluing it and screwing it. So we're gluing it with Envirograph fireproof silicone. It is for sealing and fire stopping between brick, block, concrete, glass and steel work.
This one, we've got the fireboard framed and it's loose here at the minute, but will be fastened in. I just wanted to show you how it's looking at the minute. The next stage is just to get that in the right place, fasten to the board, and then the next board is coming behind me, which we were working on today. But it's now 8 o'clock on a Sunday night and we've got to pack up and go home.
Show them the tiles, show them the tiles.
Show them the tiles.
Okay.
What do you think? Then we've got to learn how to tile, because that's the next thing, and neither of us have done that before. So.
I'm sat in our hearth. I am being our multi-stove at the moment, a little squirrel. So this is what we've done. This is our fire surround. We have built our frame, we have inset our fireboard, we have a 12mm air gap behind this. This black stuff that you can see, this is a fireproofing sealant that we've used to seal any gaps and to protect this little bit of wood as well.
Can I just... We also repaired the fireboard because it broke.
Oh yeah.
Because we've had it like 2.5 years.
Oh yeah, because we've been doing this job that long. So so we repaired it and we've filled, obviously we sealed the gaps here with the Envirograph fireproofing. And I'm sat on our hearth. Our hearth extends just enough to fulfill the fire safety requirements, which is good. So what we've done with the hearth is we have put a piece of plyboard down on top of the floorboards and we've screwed the plyboard into the floorboards. So on top of the plywood we've got a piece of cement board. Obviously this is not the piece, it's a bigger piece than this. The cement board is it's non-combustible and that fits very snugly over the area of the hearth. On top of that we have a very lovely ceramic, actually porcelain floor tile. We will glue this directly onto the plywood, this ceramic board, and then we will glue the tile directly onto the ceramic board, just to give it a little bit of elevation and to give the floor a little bit of protection. We'll be using just this ordinary tile adhesive. Because we are not yet ready to do the whole of the tiling, we're only mixing a little bit of it because we just want to fit those two tiles in place, the two floor tiles. And that's what we're going to do. Mix this up now, and then we're going to fit the floor tiles. Hopefully it will be easy. Got all the air bubbles and stuff out?
Yeah. As far as I can tell, it feels good. That's good. What do you think?
That's nice. So we have these little aluminium tiles, and we've had various advice on how to cut them, and what we need, because of the nature of the pattern, we're going to have some edges like that, some halves basically. So what we need to do is to cut these little tiles in half. So we've been given various advices on how to cut them using wet tile cutters, which we don't have and we didn't want to spend a lot of money getting. And then we looked on a few YouTube channels, and people said use a diamond blade on a chop saw is perfectly okay. Angle grinders would be perfectly okay. Jigsaw was also suggested as well. So we're going to try it. We're going to see how to do it, and we need to obviously be as careful as possible with it, because the thing about these little tiles is they could just, you know, the blade could grab them and throw them out, and we could end up having bits of aluminium tile embedded in us. So we are being super careful about what we do. But what we're actually doing is this. We've got a little piece of carpet tape. We've got our tiles. I'm going to put them on there to secure them in place. No. So this is our new system. We put the tiles in there, and we clamp them in there, and we clamp them here.
Which stops everything moving, and then they're already marked, measured, so then we just need to saw nice and steady.
Put wax on it.
And then we've got a nicer shape, and all we need to do is just take that burr off just gently, and then we've got as tiles. It's half tiles anyway. The only problem is we need about 150 of them all together, but the process is fairly quick considering, and more accurate than the chop saw could ever be, I think.
We've got 95 of them so far.
Yeah. So it's a good shoulder workout.
So this is using the chop saw. This is using a hacksaw. This might be a slower process, but it's a better process, so that's what we're going to go for.
To begin with, we're just pinning it in place so we can just see how it's looking, and basically how much of the half ones we're going to have to put in, and if we have to cut them down anymore for the corner bit, really.
Yeah, it's so heavy.
One of the things that they say is if you're new to tiling, don't use small mosaic tiles.
Don't use metal.
Use bigger tiles. One of the problems with metal is that it's about cutting, and we had a few ups and downs with that, didn't we? The next challenge, and that's what today's job is to do the grouting. So the process is that you have what they call a float, and this has basically got some sort of plasticky rubber type thing. You put some on, and you basically then squeeze it in as much as you can, and then take a bit off with the float as well.
Now the other challenge, and this is what the people at Fired Earth told us, was with these tiles, not only are they curved at the ends, so you'll end up getting grout kind of in the dip there, you've also got this slight dip in the middle here, where the grout collects in that little bit, doesn't it? And so that's going to be a challenge. So the trick for us is to put the grout on and make sure that we're taking off as much as we can with the grout float as well. And then we go onto the sponge. And
then the idea with the sponge is that you need a round edge one, so you're not actually taking too much out of the gaps. And you work initially like that to take. You don't do it particularly hard, and it's not particularly wet. You know, you need to wring it out, and you just do that to get off as much as you can, and keep it clean. Go over it again, and then you leave it for 10 minutes, and then do it again, basically, so that you clear as much of the grout off the surface of the tiles. And that's for any tiles, really. But we've got, because these are metal tiles, we also have to be a little bit careful, because we don't want to dull them by having a thin film of grout on them.
Well, and also because they're an aluminium tile with a colour on them, we don't want to take off the colour and reveal the silver aluminium below it. And grout can be quite scratchy. It can scratch surfaces of any tile. So we just have to be gentle.
Yeah, because we're going to sort of try and build the grout up in layers. We'll have to leave it, let it dry for 2 hours, and then maybe see what it's like, and most likely do it again.
Because it's going straight across it and down the bottom as well. Just let this dry, and then we wash it down again.
We've left it a week, and we're back, and sometimes you get a thin film of the grout over the tiles, and the way to clean it off is a thin solution of vinegar and water, somewhere around 1 to 3 parts, so 1 part vinegar, 2 or 3 parts water, and you just basically wipe it down. I've already done it once, so it's getting a bit shinier. I'm going to do it again, and they do say it should be warm water as well, so it's nice and warm. So not too wet a sponge, and let's see if we can make it shine. I don't know if you can see that. The other thing is that as you look at the water, the solution, you can see if you're actually fetching anything off, because the water discolours. At the minute it's not so bad, so I think we're probably about where we need to be. So just give it a good wipe down and see what it's like. And of course it's wet, so it's going to shine. But and now we're going to look at doing the framing as well.
Edging.
Trim. Trimming our bets.
Edging our bets. Trimming our bets. That's terrible. So we're nearly there. We've framed the tiles in. Behind this, as you know, there's the fireboard. This is a hardwood. We think it's birch. It's just, generic hardboard you buy from a hardware shop. This wood we have treated with a fire retardant and varnish, and to waterproof it to make sure it's a damp environment. And then we've put a heat-proof top coat on. It's still, I mean, it's within all the regulations of spacing and things that you have in a fire surround on a boat, within reason, and that's where we are. The next thing we need to do is to put the stove in place. We need to be able to secure the stove, and we need to put the chimney back, basically put the stove back in, because it's now the middle of November and it is not warm. Sounds amazing. Thank you for hanging around and for watching our videos and
Commenting
commenting.
and giving it the thumbs up.